Let's cut through the chase. I know the law better than you do, and I'm not putting my camera away.
Some cops take their badge a little too seriously, thinking that it gives them the right to act however they want. But what happens when an arrogant cop finally meets someone who is not afraid to stand their ground? Today we'll be going through cases where these cocky cops get a taste of their own medicine. In December 2023, while calmly taking photos in Scottsdale's waterfront district, an individual found himself the target of unexpected aggression by a store owner. What was meant to be a peaceful walk turned tense in seconds.
Sorry, I can't hear you because
what are you guys up to? I haven't given any permission to record.
you haven't given me permission to record.
Yeah,
what?
if you record my face, you need my permission. What?
Well, then what'd you call me for?
Well, you're recording, and you're recording.
Don't
That's
touch
disrespectful.
me. It's not being disrespectful. Sticking your hand in somebody's camera.
No, it's my business.
Now, why don't you guys just go
leave.
back to work? Have a nice day.
Let's see.
You ever think this might be going somewhere and you might get some good publicity for your store instead of acting like a fool?
I'm not asking for that. I'm asking. I would like people come and say, "Hey, did you mind if we record something?" That would be nice.
Not with your attitude.
No, I wasn't with my attitude. You start to record without asking.
No, you have a terrible attitude. I'm sure I'm not the first person to tell you that.
No, you are very disrespectful.
Okay. Why don't you just have a good night? Start all over again. So you don't want... I need your permission to film you is what you're telling me, right? But you're allowed to film me?
You're filming me.
Oh, so that means you're allowed to?
You didn't ask for my permission, so I will ask for yours.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
We can have Scottsdale PD ask you to leave.
Excuse me?
We can have Scottsdale PD ask you to leave.
You can have Scottsdale come here and educate you and tell you what a fool you're acting like.
I'm acting like a fool.
Yes.
We just told you to
100%.
stop. We
Did
just
you
told
call
you.
the police?
I'm about to.
Call them.
Yeah,
They'll
I
come
will.
educate you. Tell you to go back to work.
Call
I am
911.
working. You guys can.
He's calling 911 because a couple of guys are taking pictures on the sidewalk. You
Because we
guys are
didn't give you
fools.
permission.
The woman felt entitled to record the men without their consent, yet insisted that they ask for permission to film on a public sidewalk.
Emmy award-winning journalist. I know what you guys are doing.
And they're harassing.
If you know what I'm doing, you should have acted right.
They are outside the store. You're
Respectful
actually
to ask me, hey, can I record?
And you
That's
earn
all.
respect by being disrespectful, you get what you get.
And the man is being
I asked why you guys are recording. So you went on me.
And I what?
Went on me, my business and my employee. Are you calling?
Yes.
Sorry, Susie, I apologize.
Yeah, sorry, Susie. Sorry she acted rude and ruined the whole experience for
you're
herself.
with my moment with my client.
Oh well, you shouldn't be acting like a fool in front of your clients. Sorry, you should have came out, you should have been friendly, should have been nice. I would have been nice and friendly with you and that would have been the end of it.
They're still harassing.
They are right in front of the store filming.
They can't even leave the store.
Yeah.
And there's a client in here too. that
It's
they're
a client here.
Oh, there's a client,
My
There's a
name is
client.
Cachary.
You guys are silly. So the cops coming? They're on the way?
Yeah.
Should I wait for them?
Yeah.
You can.
Okay. I really wish you wouldn't have been rude. We could have had a nice conversation.
I love it.
I don't think you understand the meaning of disrespect.
The store employee straight up called the police simply for filming on a public sidewalk. How is that even logical? It is shocking to see such a blatant disregard for basic rights.
I am asking the gentleman to stop recording us because I don't feel comfortable being on camera and my client can't be able to leave the store because she doesn't want to leave.
Are we in the right to go?
I don't know. They have been there. I'm recording there too to prove everything they have been saying to us. So everything is recorded there. So my client has be able to leave. They said they can do that because they're
Sorry?
outside.
Put that down. You're going to talk to me.
I'm not going to put my camera down.
You can put your camera down. It'll still record.
I'm
and
not
I'm
putting my
recording.
camera down. What is the issue?
The issue.
Let's start with that. My name is Jason. How are you?
I'm fine, Jason.
And who you are?
I'm Officer Shep.
Nice to meet you, Officer Shep. Why don't we have a cordial conversation, de-escalate a little bit here?
Well, we
You got
tried
a
that.
one-sided story. You haven't spoken to me yet.
No, I have a patron who cannot leave the store
No,
because
she
she
chooses
doesn't
not to
want
leave
to
the
be
store.
on your camera, and you're
That's-
refusing to put the camera down so that we can have a cordial conversation.
I don't need to put my, you're not going to put your camera down. Anyway,
I
let's,
don't get to,
let's
but
have, neither
nice
do
try.
I. Neither do I. Nice try. So let's have the cordial conversation. I'm out on a public sidewalk taking some video, and this woman wants me to stop videoing a public sidewalk so her client can leave.
She doesn't want you to video her store. That's
She doesn't-
private property,
No,
not
it's
a
not.
public sidewalk.
Do you really believe that?
That her store is hers? Yes, I do.
That I can't film it from the sidewalk?
I didn't say that. I said she doesn't want
Let's cut
her
through the chase.
store
Let's cut through the
filmed.
chase. I know the law better than you do.
Oh,
and I'm not
good.
putting my
You're
camera
one of
away.
those.
When the officers arrived, Officer Shep only escalated the situation. Her actions completely ignored de-escalation, turning an already tense situation into a conflict.
So what are you going to do about it?
Why are you here?
I'm filming the sidewalk.
What? The sidewalk is
I'm
this
filming
way.
people walking. I can film anything my eyes can see. You know the deal. You know the story, so don't go there.
Well, you already insulted me and said I don't, but
No, I didn't
I'm
say you don't. I said I know the law
asking
better
why
than you.
You're filming the store.
Because I'm filming people. I'm going from one business. Not that I owe you an explanation.
You
but I'm
do.
gonna give you. No, I don't.
You
well,
do
now I'm not
because
going to
you're
give you one.
in front of a private business,
Doesn't matter.
blocking the entry and
No, I was
exit.
standing right over here. Nobody's blocking any entrances. Don't try
You mean
that.
now that you've moved?
I walked up there to talk to you. Let's not start playing games. Everything I do is on camera.
Okay.
Nice try.
So you're not going to tell me why you're here.
I told you why I'm here.
No, you said you're filming the sidewalk.
I'm making a video.
That's not the sidewalk.
I can film anything I want. I can film. I'm filming you. I can film inside the store.
Yeah, I gathered.
I can't go into her store unless she invites me in.
You know,
Okay,
I respect
I'm
the
just
police.
asking
What can I
you
expect from
why you're filming her store. It's making
Because
her
that's what I feel
uncomfortable.
like doing.
So you're just instigating
No,
things.
not
for
at
the
all.
hell of it.
I've been out here for hours, going store to store, 5-10 minutes in
Okay.
front of each store.
So you've been here for hours filming 5 to 10 minutes at each store.
That's
So you
correct.
have quite a bit of footage of the stores. But because somebody asked you to leave, now you have to what? Harass her?
I wasn't harassing her. I stayed here because she called you. I would have been gone already.
Feel free to go.
Am I free to go?
Yeah.
Okay,
Goodbye.
so I'm free to stay.
No.
Sure. I am.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I'll take a supervisor. I'd like to speak to your sergeant.
Oh, I bet you would. He's
Yeah,
on
look.
his way.
The officer was unaware that she was up against someone who was well versed in his rights. Instead of protecting them, she overstepped her authority, but she wasn't going to get away with it.
For DC.
Not interested in giving that to you.
You are going to give it to me
For what?
because we're investigating a crime.
A crime of me standing on the sidewalk? I haven't said a
That's
word
what-
the whole time we're
That's
standing
what
here.
you say.
Okay. Well, until
Jason,
you can
what's
prove
your
otherwise.
last
You said your supervisor's on the way, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to wait and speak with him.
No.
Yeah.
You seem real confused about
I'm really not
the fact
confused.
that we were called here for a reason
You were called here for somebody taking video on a public sidewalk.
of a private business
Doesn't
and
matter.
preventing someone who doesn't want to
I'm
be
not
on
stopping
camera
anybody from leaving.
to leave.
Do you think that's legal? What statute would I be violating?
You're causing a disturbance at this
no, I'm really
business.
not. She caused her own disturbance.
The patron caused her own disturbance
No,
by
the owner of the
shopping in a
shop.
store.
The owner of the shop
The patron.
decided. No, the owner. Of
The patron is inside this store who doesn't feel comfortable to leave because you're in a pissing match with this
I'm
owner.
not in a pissing match. I stayed here waiting for you because she told me she called you. What do you want me to do? Run away and leave so you can go look for me? I'm not running anywhere.
Well, I
stayed
don't.
here waiting for you.
The officer believed that because she had been called to the scene, she was entitled to demand personal information. Her arrogance was only matched by her condescending attitude.
I told you what I'm doing. And I asked you if you wanted to de-escalate, calm down, and have a cordial conversation. You don't want to do that.
I
wanna
told you I already did that.
Orders at me and tell me to do
Oh,
things I'm not
okay.
gonna do.
Right. Got it.
And you just told me I was free to go. So
Yeah, you're refusing to
you're not
leave.
investigating the crime. I don't have to leave.
You're refusing
I'm
to
on a
leave.
public sidewalk. You can't
And?
trespass me from a public sidewalk.
I didn't
unless
say you're
told you to leave.
trespassed.
Good. Well, why would I have to leave then?
You asked if you could leave.
Right.
I said, yeah.
Right, for the purpose
you
of telling
did.
you that means I can stay.
Okay.
Exactly
That's not, but
It is. Hey, listen, I'm not trying
What's
to give
your
you a
bar
hard time.
number?
I'm not trying to give you a hard time, okay?
Are you kidding me
But
right now?
I'm not going to stand here.
Are you kidding
I'm
me?
not going to stand here and get my rights violated by somebody.
Are you
who's on
kidding
the
me?
law. Are you kidding me?
No. You've insulted us from the moment we got here.
Nobody's insulted me.
You're more knowledgeable about everything. You're
Not about
refusing to
everything,
identify
no.
yourself.
Not about everything.
You're filming a sidewalk,
When it comes
except
to-
for
when it
not
comes to the
sidewalk.
law, as far as
and
these,
this.
and it's really not a big deal. You're going to learn something.
Copy.
You can't chase people off a public sidewalk for no reason. It's not the way it works.
Okay. So are you refusing to provide your name?
Do I have a lawful reason to give you my name?
I told you
Do you
why.
suspect me of a crime?
Yeah.
What crime do you suspect me of?
Well, I'm talking to you, and my partner's talking to
So
them.
what crime do you suspect?
Disorderly conduct.
Okay, well, we'll wait and see if your sergeant agrees with that.
Okay, so you're refusing to provide your name. Got
No, I
it.
told you I want to speak to your sergeant.
He's on the way.
Okay, so when your sergeant gets here, if your sergeant tells me I lawfully have to give him my name, I will. Him or her.
Yeah. And you're refusing to say anything.
Same thing he said.
Great.
I know,
And-
I know the law.
I got it. I don't need to hear any more about how you know the law.
You don't need to hear about anything. I think you need to be educated on the law, and I think your sergeant's going to do that for you when they get here.
Okay. That sounds good, Jason.
How do you know my name?
You introduced yourself.
There you go. So I gave you my name.
No, you didn't.
You just said I introduced myself.
As Jason.
That's my name.
That's your legal
That's the
name.
they
No
gave me.
last
That's the
name, no middle name.
Jason stayed calm and even tried to de-escalate the situation, but instead of handling the situation professionally, the officer took offense when there was none.
What company do you work for?
I'm not going to answer any questions until the sergeant gets in.
Okay.
And then maybe I still won't, but I probably will. depending on their life.
the third.
You're making a mountain out of a molehill.
Start us the third.
And we really should try to be a little more professional. You're throwing around false accusations. You said I was blocking the door, I'm preventing somebody from leaving. None of that happened.
If you would have let me finish, the patron does not feel comfortable leaving because you won't stop filming the store. There has never been any problem with you filming the sidewalk, with the exception
There's no problem
of
with me filming this floor.
you're not filming the sidewalk. So why are
You
you
wanna look
trying
at-
to
you wanna
make
look
her
at my camera?
uncomfortable?
I can film whatever I want. for myself.
That wasn't what I said. I told you why we're here. You don't like it.
No.
That's the difference.
No, it's not-
She doesn't
no.
want to leave
So
and
what's
deal
your
with
story?
this.
You said a few minutes ago that I'm doing all this to create a scene.
You are.
So, but now you're saying I don't like it that you're here. So which one is it? If I was trying to create a scene, I'd be happy. to create
You have created a scene.
No, I really have not. I'm out here minding my own business, taking video on a beautiful day, not bothering a soul. And this woman
Except
wants
for
me
you
to-
are bothering a soul. That is my point.
Not lawfully.
Okay.
No,
All right.
not at all.
Okay. Well,
So what if I was out here not filming? What if I'm out here reading a book and a person says, I don't want to see your book, books trigger me, and I would like you to put that book away so I can read my story.
I'm working.
okay.
Full.
Thank you, officer, very much.
Yeah, if they don't respect the police,
Exacerbating fear.
Thank you very much.
There's nothing to be afraid of. A couple of guys out here. Do I look like I'm out here breaking the law?
The officer showed a clear lack of understanding of the law. When Jason questioned her, she had no answer. Her arrogance couldn't hide her ignorance.
Whatever you were doing was causing a disturbance for her business?
No, I think her
No?
coming out, yelling at me, sticking her hand in my face,
Okay.
doing all that, might have. I don't know.
Do you think that this makes everyone comfortable?
Well, that's a whole nother discussion.
Well,
So,
that-
I'll tell
but
you
that-
what.
but that's
I'll
what I'm
answer.
asking you,
I'll
because-
answer, sure. I'll answer you. Some people love being on.
Right.
Some people
And
don't,
some
other
hate
people
it,
don't.
right?
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
So
That's
you
why I make
you
very sure
you
I'm-
doing what you do, wouldn't it make sense if somebody comes to you and has an issue with what's going on and it's just causing problems in front of the business to just move along?
Well, I'll tell. And if she didn't call you, I would have been gone. And like I said, I'm in front of each.
Well, how long have you been here?
Since we first got here, probably a half an hour because I stayed.
No,
here
I
for
mean
8
in front
years.
of this particular
I
store.
was here for probably less than a minute when she first came out.
And how long have you been here? So you've been here for a half an hour.
Because I waited for the police. She said she was calling. I'm not going to run away if she said she's calling.
Right,
the
but
police.
what is the point?
I told you I'm making a travel video about the shopping.
Right,
district.
but my point is if you got all these stores to go to, right?
Right.
And you've had no issues with any interactions with any of the other stores, correct?
I have had the first negative
Right,
interaction
right.
of the day.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That being said,
Yeah.
why stay and continue to be an issue?
There was not even a chance. You're talking about. A
Okay,
minute.
you're missing my point.
Well, first
Okay,
of all,
so if you're walking around and you got all these stores to go to,
Yes.
and the one that causes issues for you and you're causing issues
well,
for
like I
them,
said, if she didn't say she was calling the police, I would have been gone already. I waited because she said she was calling the police. I don't want you to have to look.
how many times did she ask them to leave?
She was filming them with the lipstick.
Well, I'm on a public sidewalk, so I never went into her store.
I understand that, but you're still right in front of the doors.
No, I was here. I was literally standing here.
The supervisor remained calm, and despite his composure, his knowledge was just as lacking as that of his officers. Instead of protecting Jason's rights, he violated them by blaming him.
You guys aren't doing anything
I
illegal.
was gonna say, isn't that a little foolish?
No?
I think you have better things to do than have somebody call you because they
I mean, we
they
handle
don't
lots.
feel like walking out of a store.
Well, I mean, you make people feel uncomfortable, like
No,
we
people make
talked
themselves
about.
feel uncomfortable.
I'm not here to argue with you.
So if somebody's
I'm not
very,
here to argue
if
with
somebody's very happy to
I'm
be
not
on my
here to
camera,
argue
I'm
with
asking
you.
you a question.
I'm not going to answer it because
All
I'm
right,
going to
well,
tell
then
you.
have a good
Listen,
day. Have a good day.
We talked about
Have
the
a good
fact
day.
that some people
I'm
like
not
to be
interested in
filmed
having a conversation with you.
and some
Have a
don't.
good day.
All I'm
You
going to
guys
tell
are
you
all done. I'm free to leave.
all I'm telling you is
I'm
this.
free to leave.
If you cause
Have a good
disturbances,
day. I don't want to hear it.
you're looking
I don't
at...
want to hear your directives. Have a nice day.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. And instead of exacerbating fear, maybe you should tell her the real deal.
I already talked to her.
You already talked to her. You make her feel better?
I don't know.
Is her feelings feel better now?
I don't know. Do you feel better?
I've been feeling great since the start, man. I was hoping a little more from you. I was expecting a little more from you, and I was hoping you were going to show up and do the right thing. But
These officers are clearly the reason why the public is now scared to trust the police. Rather than enforcing the law, they misused their power, made baseless accusations, and resorted to using threats of arrest. The arrogance was off the charts, but what happened with the next cop left him completely speechless.
So do the walk of shame and walk away from me with your head down. That's what you're doing. You guys are pricks, you know that?
In July of 2024, an auditor visited a police officer parking lot in Utah, and what he found was shocking. Not a single car had a license plate.
And I'm down here at the parking area where only the sheriff can park. So this is one of the police cars, okay? No front license plate. There's their VIN number. So he has that recorded. I put a complaint in, over a month ago. It's been over a month, okay? And here's the same Jeep. They're special people. That's why they're allowed. There's the VIN number in there. You can see it, okay? And then we have another car. Okay, there it is. No license plate. There's the VIN number right there. Okay? They think they're special. How about this one? How about that? 4 cars. There's the VW. There it is. No license plate on the front.
Things took a turn when Chief Deputy Butcher arrived at the scene, refusing to take any responsibility. Instead of addressing the clear violation, he acted as if the law simply did not apply to him.
Why do you guys have no license plates on your cars?
I believe I do.
Really? Well, a month ago I did this. I've already gone past 9 cars that are parked in your special area, and none of them have license plates on it. Why?
Not my cars. I can't answer you.
What is your name?
Arnold Butcher.
And are you the chief of the sheriff for Davis County? Because I live in this county.
Yeah, I'm one of the chief deputies here.
Okay, and you have no reason why you guys are privileged not to have a front license plate on your car.
You're asking about individual vehicles, and
this is your responsibility. You're supposed to set an example to the citizens of Davis County, are you not?
yeah, I appreciate your input, Walt.
No, you don't, because
Yes.
nothing's been done about it. I put a complaint on it.
I've got to get in, so
Oh,
thanks,
you can.
Walt.
No, you have time to talk to me. You don't want to. So do the walk of shame and walk away from me with your head down. That's what you're doing. You guys are pricks, you know that? You guys think you're above the law and you don't have to go by it, right?
Have a good day, Walt.
Oh, on you. When cops say have a good day, it's the same thing as saying I used to be a cop, buddy.
I know.
You guys are terrible. And you're not going to do nothing about it, are you? I'm going to come back again. And pretty soon, your phones are going to be overloaded with people calling across this country. So be a heart, walk away from me and not give me an explanation.
The man confronted the deputy for not following the laws that they enforce, and with nothing left to say, the officer had no choice but to do the walk of shame.
So you just saw one of the chiefs wearing their phony goddamn stars. And here's another one right here. These sons of already know who I am. He called me Walt. Hey, Chief! Don't you ever call me Walt again. You can call me Dr. English or Captain English, but don't you ever call me Walt. You don't have the privilege or the right. Do you understand? Yes, sir. Okay. Well, I have to say this. He's at least cordial. These are terrible sons of that we're dealing with. See, he doesn't want to answer it. You notice that? And he ain't going to write anybody. They let their people get by with breaking the law. That's what they did. Why shouldn't I be mad? Why shouldn't I be cussing? People right here in this parking lot, okay? They have to come to court and pay tickets for that, and then they stand around on their ass and don't even do it. That's bullshit.
It is absolutely infuriating to see the very people sworn to uphold the law blatantly ignoring it. When officers break the rules, it's not just hypocrisy, it's a betrayal of public trust. Well, if you found this shocking, wait until you see the actions of these next cops who were humbled by this auditor.
Your name and badge number?
There you go. You want to record it with your phone?
No, why don't you just say it? Because I know that's your policy.
Cops often commit atrocious acts, hoping that they will get away with it. But sometimes karma catches up fast. Today we'll go through some of the most corrupt cops who faced instant karma and learned a swift lesson.
Sergeant Burke and one of his detectives will come and speak.
In June of 2024, First Amendment auditor was filming outside of a correctional facility in Trenton, New Jersey, when a police officer approached and attempted to intimidate him.
I don't have any answers for you. So I'm just... Excuse you? I'm on public property right now.
Excuse me?
I'm on public property right now.
Right, but you're recording a correctional.
Is that illegal?
Can be. Harassment.
Recording's harassment?
Yes.
You can't turn a constitutionally protected activity into a crime.
Do you have ID on you, sir?
No, I haven't committed a crime.
Okay. I asked you what you're doing in front of the facility?
Taking pictures and video of matters of public interest.
What's that public interest?
That's all I'm going to say. Is that recording?
Sure is.
Excellent. Awesome.
The officer approached with a hostile demeanor, trying to intimidate the auditor and accusing him of harassment. However, harassment involves repeated behavior that annoys someone, which was not the case here.
Well, you're going to ask him to move along.
No, I'm not leaving. I'm on public property. Get a sergeant out here. Or a lieutenant. You give me illegal directives to leave. You know I'm on public property. There's utilities here. This is a public sidewalk, correct?
Yes.
So Ramos versus Flowers. I'm allowed to record police departments. Glick versus Cuniff. I can record anything out in public. Did you tell Google to stop taking pictures of their facility when they flew their satellites over? Or is it just me? So I'd like a sergeant out here.
Okay, no problem. I'll get one for you.
Excellent.
Suddenly, the cop's demeanor shifted when he realized that the auditor was well versed in the law. However, things were about to get even worse for these corrupt officers.
You do know
Right?
that it is posted no trespassing. Yeah. So
But if it's a state facility, I'm still allowed in there. Because it's open to the public.
if they tell you,
That's not true.
it is true.
No, it's not.
If they tell you to leave,
That's so. If I go to the police department, you tell me to leave, and I stay there. If I'm not committing a crime, I'm allowed to stay there. That's the law. So as long if this is a public facility, even if they have no trespassing, it's still open to the public. Until I broke a law, I wouldn't be in violation of anything. I mean, I don't know why you give me illegal directives to leave.
I just asked you to. I didn't demand you leave. I asked you.
No, you're like, move along.
You'd like to move along. Yes.
Right, under color of law.
That's a request. That wasn't a demand.
Under color of law, you told me to move along.
It wasn't a direct order. That was a request.
Well, it's an unlawful order if it was. But you did it under color of law, correct?
The officers clearly lacked any knowledge of the law and couldn't even distinguish between public and private property. The auditor was ready to educate them even further. They had attempted to detain him earlier illegally, but realizing their sergeant was approaching, they then tried to backtrack, claiming they were only requesting him. However, the officers were about to violate even more policies.
Your name and badge number?
There you go. You want to record it with your phone?
No, why don't you just say it? Because I know that's your policy.
It is right there.
Say it. Say it. Name and badge number. Name and badge number, officer. All right. Name and badge number.
Officer Roller, 6635.
See how hard that is?
How are you, sir? How can I help you, sir?
How you doing, Sergeant? Name and badge number?
Sergeant Dilly, Trenton Police.
Do you have a badge number or no?
92.
92. Okay. So this officer here refused to identify himself verbally, so I'd like to file an IA on him. And he also told me to move along under color of law. it seems like that's a legal thing that he's telling me to do, and obviously I'm on public sidewalk, and it's not illegal to be on public sidewalk recording. So I'd like to file an IA on that gentleman there for those 2 incidents.
It is troubling how these corrupt officers still fail to understand citizens' First Amendment rights. Even more concerning, the sergeant tried to side with his rookie officers, ignoring the law.
Correctional facility, and they called because you were out.
Yeah, that's fine, but that still doesn't negate what he just did.
What did he do?
He told me to move along under color of law of a public sidewalk with, to me, the threat of arrest, even though he didn't say that. And then he refused to identify himself because he told me to move along.
Right on his thing.
I let him record my name.
That's not what your policy is. Your policy says you're supposed to identify yourself, not just by pointing at your titty and saying, here it is. You don't say that to a judge, right? Hey, judge, look at... And just... You still can't say his name and badge number. You did, he did, no problem. You know, ego's got to go.
The auditor filed a complaint against the officer right on the spot and further educated the officers on their legal obligation.
So exactly where's their property line at?
I'm actually trying to figure that out.
I don't have it mapped out. I'm not
we'd have to go down to the city and get the lot.
And is there a way for you to find out if that's public property or not? If that's a public facility?
I don't know if anybody in the facility.
And this guy's demanding my ID and stuff like that. He's not a cop. Even you guys can't get my ID. I haven't broken the law.
The gentleman in there?
Yeah, the gentleman with the blue shirt on. And I haven't broken the law. You guys know that.
He's like, over here, I don't think said you did.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I totally agree with it. I mean, but telling me to move along.
I just asked you.
Yeah, but under color of law, you're like, yeah, you need to move.
Both officers were left speechless and dismissed, but the auditor wasn't finished. He soon noticed another officer on the scene driving without a seatbelt, ready to call out yet another violation.
Name, badge number? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. You guys, you have your seatbelt on? No? So we don't wear seatbelts? What are we doing in this town? So you guys don't have a policy to wear seatbelts either?
Have a good day, sir. All right.
No, I'm following an IA. So that officer right there doesn't have a seatbelt on. Sergeant. Excuse me, Sergeant.
I heard you. Have a good day. I heard you. 934.
All right, no problem. I'll do an IA on you. You just want to walk away? You got your officers here with no seatbelts on? You got officers here with no seatbelts on.
Have a good day.
So your policy is not to have seatbelts on? Huh?
Cops were destroyed like they have never been encountered before. They truly had no basis for their statements and were instantly owned and humbled. These cops were instantly owned, but you'll be surprised to see what happens with this next officer.
He didn't have that.
This is your money?
Yes, I heard him crumble it up. Thank you. Thank you. All that's been recorded, right? That's my money.
On March 14th, 2024, Officer Henry Chapman responded to a traffic stop. The driver, Moncray Moon, was found to have an outstanding arrest warrant and then placed in handcuffs. But what happened next took a turn for the worse.
Sir, come on, step back here. Go ahead and place that call. Put your phone on the top of it.
What am I doing? I'm going to start this thing too. That's why I'm having out.
So you are under arrest at this time. You have a warrant out for your arrest.
A warrant for what? I'm going to show it to you in a moment, okay? Is this your car?
It's my girlfriend's car.
Your girlfriend's car. Can he drive it, the guy that's in the passenger seat?
Yes, sir.
Right here in the car here.
Step feet right this little bit. I'll get this step out your way.
After Moncray was arrested, the officers discovered that he had $8,000 in cash. Instead of giving the money to Moncray's passenger, as protocol required, Officer Chapman decided to take it to the police station. That decision sparked a major issue.
What is that? I give cash. No, that's going with you. That's going to be with you. We're not giving that to anybody else. We got that off you, so it's staying with you, so you know we didn't take none, and none's going to be missing. All right, but I want to money. We'll put this in the bag for you, okay? Yeah, here. Here you go.
I got you.
Yeah, she's counting it right now.
You're gonna watch me, okay?
I heard the early man get shot.
Moncray made a wild accusation of Officer Chapman of stealing some of his money. When a female officer counted the cash before him, the amount seemed off, further fueling his suspicions.
Hold up. Check it out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm not trying to question you.
Let me count it first.
No, can you look in between his legs real quick? Well, I think he just put some more money in between his legs. I'm sorry.
How much money did you have on you? I'm asking.
I haven't touched it. Can you just check in between his legs?
Sir, listen to me.
He's moving and everything. Look, he's moving. Sir, I'm here.
Sir, listen to me. Tell me how much cash you had on you. What was the amount?
I just want to see. I'm not gonna lie. Can you check? I'm not going nowhere. Can you check your fellow officer for me, please?
Yeah.
Hell no. He just touched me. I heard the rubber band pop. He told me, oh, I had to look. And he's moving. He's moving in between his legs.
Sir, stand right here.
I'm gonna stand right here, but can y'all please check y'all fellow officer? Please. What's going on? Look, he's moving his arm right now.
How much cash did you have on you?
Can you check your hands?
I didn't.
Can you check your people's? Because he's touching.
Yeah. Tell me what's the total amount?
Officer Chapman's nervous demeanor said it all. His visible unease and silence only strengthened Moncray's claims. More officers arrived. Chapman's fraud was about to be exposed.
Right in his right hand.
Tell me how much money you
He's
had
tucking
on you.
money. He's tucking my money. That's a problem. Can y'all check him?
Listen to me. Listen.
Look at him moving. He's moving. Oh my God. Y'all not gonna check him?
Listen.
Look at him.
Listen. Come on.
I've been cooperating with you guys the whole time. I'm
not gonna allow anybody to take your money.
Look at him. He's moving.
But look at me. No one's gonna take your money. I can see his hands. I can see exactly what he's doing. No one's gonna take your money. She's gonna count your money. There's more money.
Him touch my money. And you
There's
guys
more money in here. You're saying that there's more money in here?
But what I'm saying is,
let me ask you a question. Answer my question. Are you saying that there's more money in here?
What I'm saying is, he just touched my money and went through 3 different floor compartments, and I seen him put it in between his legs. I heard my rubber band.
Moncray claimed that he heard his rubber band pop, which was enough evidence to claim that the officer was a thief. The supervisor then removed Chapman from his vehicle as tensions escalated further.
I'm saying, but he already moved and did a lot of different stuff.
Okay, come sit over here.
But y'all already let him move, like, there's no way. Like, watch. That's crazy. I can't believe y'all just did me like that. I tried to give her the money. He said don't give it to her.
Okay.
Because I went to Wendy's. I got a Wendy's receipt right.
But do you know how much cash you had on you? So I can count it out so we can verify the total. Do you know approximately how much you had on you?
I heard my rubber band being popped.
I just grabbed it from the seat to give to her.
That's not what you just told me either, boss.
I did. That's what I did. And I handed her the
I'm not gonna lie,
envelope.
Have I gave you any problems?
No, sir, you have not.
That's all I wanted to ask, sir. I just don't understand why y'all couldn't. Like, I'm not going. I sit on my face. I'm not going nowhere. I just wanted
to ask you what your total was so we can count it out.
Now, this was a serious allegation against a law enforcement officer. And while it might seem unlikely for a cop to steal money, Moncray stood his ground and refused to leave until a thorough investigation was conducted.
I watched him tear up. I watched him look at you and tell him, like, look at you and tell you, no, you're not about to. I just watched him do way too much when I haven't been nothing but nice and compliant to you guys. You feel what I'm saying? I'm trying to go along with you guys' protocols and everything. All I've done was ask questions so I know how, like, to make sure I'm safe and my family can find me and stuff. And you guys' body cam is on, like I know.
Mine is on right now.
But I know for a fact what I seen and what I heard. And then when I asked him why was he like popping the rubber band on the money, he said I was just making sure something, but there's no need to make sure, you feel what I'm saying? Like, that's my property, you feel what I'm saying? And I know for a fact the money was touched, but it's a million compartments.
Yes, I did touch it when I grabbed it out of the seat.
I understand, so I don't want to argue with you, Mr. Chapman. I just know what
No, sir.
Okay, so what I typically do is count out everybody's money in front of them so you can see that it's accurate.
The money was altered before.
So when I turn it over to property, you can verify that the total we're counting out now is the total that you're going to get back. Okay? Are you good with me doing that right now?
Despite the odds, Moncray's claims carried some weight. It seemed Officer Chapman had chosen the wrong person to mess with.
Miss Casperson, I'm not trying to cause any problems. I just know what I know, you know what I'm saying? I know, I heard the rubber band pop. I seen him fiddling. He did not just keep his hands up the whole time. Like no, I didn't. He didn't open the door and say, you can search me. Look, you know what I'm saying? I heard my money. I'm a very great businessman. I just paid bills a couple days ago. You know what I'm saying? I just know for a fact that he touched my money. And then he was adamant about not giving my money to my wife or the cameraman that was with me. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, no, you're gonna keep your money on you, which wasn't a problem. You know what I'm saying? But him touching the money prior to just putting it in I've been listening the whole time. He asked for a small envelope. He didn't put the money in there then.
Disregarding Moncre's claims, the female officer then counted the money and placed it in an envelope as evidence. Shortly after, Chapman began attempting to prove his innocence, a move that came across as suspicious. The suspect refused to let the matter go, prompting the sergeant to search Officer Chapman's vehicle.
Anything is on him,
Look, sir.
it would be in big. No, I don't.
Look, I'm gonna show you right here. Look at me. Look at me.
All of you guys probably have kids out there. You know what I'm saying? Look, this is all I want to explain to you guys. Most of the time, when somebody knows they didn't, when somebody knows for a fact they didn't do anything, they're not finna just, you feel what I'm saying, let you search them. And I don't have kids, you feel what I'm saying? But I know how that goes because my mom did foster care. So I'm up to par with all of that. And on top of that, if I didn't do anything, like how me and you been talking the whole time,
yes,
just
sir.
like how me and you was talking the whole time, if I didn't do anything, I have nothing that I'm worried about. You feel
I want you to feel
comfortable. I would have
yes, sir.
felt comfortable if your colleagues would have searched you at the exact time where I knew where the money was. Because I seen you kept going in between your legs, and then every time everybody put all of the attention on me, you kept moving. I don't know if it's in your door, I don't know where it's at, but just look, I don't even care to find the money, but how you know how you.
What they uncovered would become the ultimate karma moment for Chapman.
I want you
to hold me so you know that.
Okay. Do you see anything?
No, no cap. I'm not even gonna touch it. It's blue hundreds right here. It's all the blue hundreds are right there behind that receipt. Thank you. All that's my money. He didn't have that.
This is your money?
Yes, I heard him crumble it up. Thank you. All that's been recorded, right? That's my money. That's my money right there.
Sir, you've been watching me that whole time.
I seen you take it. I seen you crumble
Sir,
it. Just
that
count
is
it.
not me.
If I'm right, it's gonna be around $1,000. If I'm right, and like I told you, I just went to Wendy's. I seen you still.
No, sir.
If you don't mind, I just want to sit down so y'all don't try to say I'm resistant. I don't want to do nothing. All I know for a fact is I know what I know and I've seen it. I just wanted you guys to trust me, you know what I'm saying? That's why I was just acting a little irate, but I'm perfectly fine, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to expose you.
That is not me, bud.
Brother, I just seen you steal my money. It was no reason for me to pop my rubber band, brother. It was no reason for me to pop my rubber band off my money.
It turned out Moncre was right all along. Officer Chapman had indeed stolen the money, and he was brutally exposed in front of his colleagues who could do nothing but hang their heads in shame.
Mr. Chapman went in my money. He separated my money. He was trying to steal it, and I caught him. He put it in between his legs, and as his colleagues approached me, he worked it towards the door. He tried to make it seem like I was lying. I'm not going anywhere. I'm in full custody of these officers. I'm being detained. I'm not going anywhere. I don't want any problems. I'm not armed. I didn't do anything wrong. I was just pulled over for a traffic stop. He just tried to steal some of my money.
Okay, we're hearing you, but there's no need to say all of
No,
that.
I was just looking at the camera. No, I just know how it goes. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to cause.
My camera's on the entire
Yes, ma'am.
time.
So what are we gonna do about this problem? Because he just tried to steal some of my money.
sir,
And I'm
I
not
did
trying
not.
to put any allegations on him. I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not using my words to try to hurt anybody. I just know what I know. You his sergeant.
Yes, he is my sergeant.
Sir, I have 20/20 and I can read. I remember when you called him out, I could tell you everything he said to you. Perfect timing. This was perfect. Perfect that you called me out this time because you didn't know the protocol to how a federal warrant was supposed to be taken care of. Correct and incorrect?
That's correct. That's why I called him out to ask.
But you just separate. Whoa, so what was the purpose of you separating my money while you gave her money while you just watched her count my money out in full? Because you just wasted you wasted an evidence folder.
Moncre, sharp and persistent, reportedly urged the cops to take action against the thieving officer. Soon after, he was escorted to jail, and things were only about to get much worse for him from there.
When she asked me, then I would have been ridiculed or foreseen as a liar or something. That's why I didn't answer your question, ma'am, because I said that I had just went to Wendy's. I believe that's my receipt. I only ordered a 10-piece nugget and I ordered like a fry and something to drink, so I didn't know the actual amount of the money. All I know is when my girlfriend got off work at 5 o'clock, I was supposed to give her that money for the rest of the bills, and she was going to get her car back. I was in a car this week. That's why I wasn't in my own car, man. That was my girlfriend's car, Diamond Alexander. That's why when when you initially pulled me over, and y'all probably have my phones, you can see the call record. I called her at like 4 or something to let her know, babe, I'm being pulled over in your car. In my eyes, I thought it was gonna be for the T-tag, temporary tag thing, the sticker, but like
it was initially just for your speed, I promise you that. Captain, his ID is on the dashboard up there.
Okay.
Do you mind putting it in my evidence file? Can I get like y'all names wrote down?
Yeah.
Thank you.
In a matter of seconds, Officer Chapman was the one who was under investigation. He was escorted into the police station and immediately began being questioned.
So like this is what's going to happen, all right? We have people coming in. Obviously, they have to talk to you, all right? So I'm going to hold on to your weapon right quick, okay?
Yep. Go ahead. Just take the whole holster off. It's one of them.
QLS.
I got it.
Sergeant Burke and one of his detectives will come and speak to you, alright? Anything, man?
No. Just want to say I'm sorry. Gotcha, brother. Well, we're going to walk out of here and close the door, okay?
As shocking as that was, this next clown completely embarrassed himself after getting owned by the auditor.
And what law is that?
That's my facility.
I'm willing to go to jail to defend my rights.
What rights do you have?
Police officers are often criticized for breaking the very laws they swear to uphold. Today we will look at cases where corrupt cops realized they were being recorded and instantly went on a rampage. Stay tuned until the end because the last case will leave you stunned. On August 6, 2023, a First Amendment auditor was filming outside of the Durham Regional Police Station when 4 officers came over to him and immediately started to intimidate him.
Can I ask what we're doing here?
Let's take some pictures for you.
Or what though?
Everything I can
Police
see.
facility?
Everything I can see.
The property. And there's a lot of things that happen there that are police related that can't be removed and such.
What law is that?
That's the general law. It's trespassing.
What law is it?
It's a general law.
So me filming in there is trespassing?
Yes.
What's your name, sir?
O'Connor.
And your name?
Higgins.
What's your name, sir?
Quigley.
Your name, sir?
Quivertans.
You guys agree with what he just said? I'm not allowed to film whatever I could see from public?
In a private facility? No. In a police facility? No.
Whatever I can see from public, I can film, sir. Are you guys gonna back him up on that, or?
The auditor was filming a public building and had every right to be there, but Sergeant O'Connor, who clearly had no clue about the law, was set to make things incredibly tough for him.
For you to go, am I being detained?
No.
For you to go, right?
Yes.
Then I'm free to stay as well, right?
Well, and we'll stay right here with you.
It's a good use of your time.
No, it's very good use of our time.
Oh,
Still private property in the visitors parking.
it's visitors parking.
Still private property.
Trust me, I've been through this with many other departments.
Okay.
You want to keep going this way? I recommend not to, bro.
I don't care. I'll stay in here as long as I want to.
I know all my laws and all my rights.
Do you?
Yeah. You standing here is just making yourself look like, a bad guy. What are you doing?
Not really.
You know what he's talking about. First, you told me I can't film in there, and that it would be trespassing.
Yeah,
now you're saying that I can, but you're just gonna sit here.
You can't film within our facilities.
Are you gonna arrest me if I do, sir? Okay, then I can.
The officers knew he wasn't breaking any law, yet instead of moving on, they wasted taxpayer dollars, continuing to intimidate a man who knew more about the law than all of them combined.
Be more professional.
I'll be professional when you leave.
I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
Trust me, I'll be here long before you leave.
Is there something you're looking for in particular?
Because I feel like I'm being threatened.
No, you're not being
I'm
threatened.
being harassed.
We're having a conversation,
My
right?
Canadian right to film in public, whatever I can see from public, including private property. That's my Canadian right. I can do that. I don't have to answer any of your questions. I don't have to cooperate in your little investigation here. I don't have to do any of that. I'm glad your body cameras are on, and you might learn a lesson here today. You might get a little bit educated. Next time you see somebody else filming, maybe go up to them and say, hey man, how's it going? Beautiful facility, huh? Would you like to take some pictures of my squad car?
Sergeant O'Connor proved to be the most clueless of them all. He kept asking ridiculous questions and got schooled by the auditor, who completely took him to the cleaners.
Still back. So if I film in there, what are you going to do? You told me I can't do it. You said it's common law, quote unquote. It's common law. I can't film into your facility.
Yes, because there's just police techniques.
Am I breaking common law right now? I'm zooming in. Am I breaking common law right now, sir?
In my mind, yes.
Okay, and what law is that?
That's my law. That's my facility.
Would you like to arrest me, sir?
No, I don't.
Okay, then what are you trying to accomplish here, bud?
Nothing. I'm standing here with you.
I'm willing to go to jail to defend my rights.
What rights do you have?
I have the right to film in public, just like I can lay a pray mat out right here and pray to Allah. I have that right. That's my Canadian Charter rights. I have the right to call you jackass and give you the middle finger.
Yes, you do.
That's Canadian Charter rights, Section 2.
Turns out the sergeant doesn't care about citizens' rights. After making a fool of himself, he shamelessly continues to lie about everything.
Body camera footage, then that one, and that one, and that one. Okay. Anything you guys conspired before walking up to me, anything you conspire after, I'll have all of that. So don't mute it. Appreciate it. That's another Canadian right of mine.
What's that?
The freedom to your information.
Yeah, Freedom of Information Act, yeah.
You want me to leave?
Yes.
Yeah, why?
Because I don't like you filming the police station.
Well, you're at work right now, right?
Yes, I am.
Under the color of law? Am I breaking the law?
No.
Then why do you want me to leave?
Because I don't feel the need for you to be filming the police station when there's police techniques that are involved.
That has nothing to do with you.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
I work here. It does.
That has nothing to do with you. I can be on this public easement all I want. Why don't you just leave me alone, Higgins?
The officers weren't just intimidating a law-abiding citizen, they were also disrupting traffic, forcing cars to cross solid lines.
Find all of this back and see all the things that you tried to tell me at the beginning of this interaction that weren't true and that were unlawful. And you're trying to tell me, you're trying to bully me away from me. Yeah, you were. You were. Yeah. You thought that I didn't know my rights. You thought that I wouldn't know what I was talking about. You thought that I wouldn't know.
Don't care if you know what you're
It's
talking
okay.
about.
You picked the wrong one today, O'Connor.
Sounds like they're called to trace somebody. I heard that they
I would suggest you go back to work. Seems like that guy just committed a traffic violation.
Which one?
It's on the silver right there.
What did he do?
You got it on camera.
What did he do?
How long until you guys just do the walk of shame and realize I'm not going to go anywhere? It could have been the walk of honor if you came and, gave me some respect and told me what I'm doing isn't illegal and I can film in there all I want. I would have told you my name. I'm going to look that up. I probably filed my own complaint on you.
For what?
For giving me unlawful orders.
Did I tell you to leave yet? Have I asked you to leave? Have I told you?
Did you tell me if I film in there it's breaking the law?
I said it's
yes, you did.
common law, yes.
Thanks.
Because there's police techniques.
Keep talking.
That can't be
You have the right to remain silent, O'Connor. Keep talking yourself into a hole. You have the right to remain silent, brother. Please, exercise your Canadian rights.
The sergeant must have realized he had made a huge mistake beefing with this auditor, but things were about to get even worse as he started to make fun of the corrupt cop.
You have anything to drink tonight, sir?
Have you?
Are you okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
You need medical help?
No. You seem like you're a little offside, but...
Yeah. All right, O'Connor. So what's next? What are you going to tell me next?
Nothing. We're just staying out.
You're going to suggest that I'm a little lopsided, I'm a little drunk, and you're going to try to arrest me? Huh?
So I'm asking you back.
What's next here, O'Connor? You know what?
I am the sergeant. I am the sergeant.
You are a sergeant?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That's unfortunate. Can I request your supervisor, O'Connor?
No. Chief isn't working today.
There's nobody above you on right now?
No.
You got stripes on that? You got stripes on that?
Yeah, I do.
All right. That's, wow. How did that happen?
Because I work hard.
Basic Canadian Charter rights.
The officers were now bullying the auditor as they stood right in front of his camera, blocking his view and refusing to leave him until he decided to go.
Do you want anything in particular? Just
Sergeant
answer the
Higgins,
question.
You enjoy the rest of your shift.
All right. Just stay off the property, man.
You guys go kick snow.
All right.
Okay?
If you need something particular, you let us know. Okay?
You have a good shift. Bye, O'Connor. Told you leave before me.
Apart from the sergeant, the other officers eventually leave the scene and the auditor. They all turned off their body cams, but Sergeant Higgins forgot to mute his, accidentally recording everything they said in private.
Hey? Sorry? No, there's nothing. He's not doing anything in violation. Well, that's up for debate, I guess, right? I don't know.
So if I stand outside of his place and videotapes his place, his cars, that's.
I don't know. So I'm trying to find a definitive answer, and nobody's picking up here.
Every car that comes through here, he's picking up. You can go sit out at your place and fucking sit there for your car.
Yeah, he's across the road. Yeah, he's just being a goof. But Grego won't let go. But I mean, Grego won't let go. I'm just saying it's not worth our time. Like, just let's go.
Despite the cops realizing that he wasn't breaking any law, they kept questioning him and wasting his time. To make matters worse, O'Connor stuck around acting like a 9-year-old child.
Can you call him off? What is this? He's literally harassing me.
I'm making sure you're safe. You're part of the community, you said, so I'm making sure you're safe. That's what I'm doing. I want to make sure you're safe. So I'm going to stand where I can make sure that you're safe.
Please stop coming up to me. I'm safe.
I'm making sure you're safe.
On the public, yes.
I have to make sure you're safe.
One thing clear for the camera.
Sir, you are part of the community. I am making sure you're safe. You are standing too close to the roadway. I'm afraid of you getting hit by a car. So I'm making sure you're safe. I'm a very visible presence. So I'm making sure that you are safe.
Please have a nice day, sir.
I gotta make sure you're safe.
Stop harassing me.
I'm not. I'm making sure you're safe because you're part of the community.
Stop harassing me.
You're part of the community, so I'm making sure you're safe.
This is exactly why there is a huge gap between law enforcement and the public. Sergeant O'Connor failed in his duty, choosing to harass and intimidate the auditor instead.
You guys are killing me.
Sorry?
What's your name, dude?
It's not funny, Higgins.
What's your name?
It's not funny.
Why don't you just tell me what you need?
My name, leave me alone.
I know, but this is getting a little ridiculous.
Just go away. I won't be too much longer. I'll film a little bit longer. Maybe I'll leave.
What do you want to film in particular? That's what I'm asking. Are you looking for something in particular?
Come up more professional next time and I'll give you an answer. Don't come up like this guy. Maybe you should have led the conversation, Higgins.
Just be careful, okay? Don't get hit.
Higgins, please get him out of here.
He's a
Higgins, you seem like a good guy, man. Get your
he's
dog.
an adult in the certain. He can make up his own mind.
Like a good guy. Now show it.
Anyways,
Get this guy away.
is there anything you need? If there's something you need, ask. Okay?
This was an officer's ego at its worst. He escalated a simple issue and ended up humiliating himself with these pathetic tactics.
Grego's an adult, so just saying. He wants to do it. Alright. Talk to you. Yeah, man.
Crazy O'Connor, if I didn't say you were going to leave before me, you would have probably left by now. But because I said that,
No, I'm here to make you feel safe.
you can't take that
I'm here to make you feel safe.
You just can't leave.
I'm just making sure you're safe. That's all I'm doing. We leave at the same time. I'm fine with that. We're good. I'm just gotta make sure that you're safe.
You just can't do the walk of shame, huh? Tried to come over here and bully me around, didn't work. I was scared to walk away.
I'm here to make
You're gonna stay here and hopefully you get something on me. Well, guess what? It's not gonna work, O'Connor.
I'm making sure you're safe. That's what I'm doing.
So what's gonna make? What you said? I'm too close.
Well,
what if I step back?
If they come back.
What do you want me to do that will make you
If you step
feel
back
me
a little
more
bit
safe?
off the roadway, that would be
If I
fantastic.
step back, you're gonna leave me alone.
Yeah, if you step back and then you're safe, and then you don't come back up here, because then if you come back up here, then I gotta come back and make sure you're
So
safe.
if I walk down there, right there,
Sure, step back.
then you'll leave me alone, right?
That's on a hill, so don't do that because you might fall and hurt yourself.
Almost an hour had passed, yet the sergeant still refused to leave the auditor alone, completely neglecting any real police work. It is ridiculous how taxpayer money is funding this ego trip.
No, I want to make sure that you're safe.
You can't just let his ego go.
I don't have an ego. I just want to make sure you're
You
safe.
have the biggest ego. I've filmed hundreds of cops. Hundreds.
I just want to make sure you're safe. That's all I'm
Hundreds of
doing.
them. You have the biggest ego I've ever seen by far.
Okay. I'm just making sure you're safe. That's all I'm doing.
But you're really not, though.
No, I am. Because I'm a bigger
That's why
presence.
You came out here to begin with?
Well, I wanted to see what you're doing, what you're filming. What was the purpose of it?
For my safety at the beginning.
Well, no, because you were standing off the back of the road. You were standing way far back, but now
And
you're
now that I
real
knew
close.
my rights and didn't let you bully me, now you want to say.
No, you still don't know your rights, but You were further back from the roadway, so I was okay with that. But now that you're walking on it, you don't know them all, no.
Now, realizing that the sergeant was completely unhinged, the auditor decided to wrap things up. The situation had become frustrating and downright embarrassing with every passing minute.
Do you feel safe right now?
Have a good day, O'Connor.
Are you good?
Have a good day, O'Connor.
Are you safe?
Take a walk, O'Connor. Kick snow.
Are you safe?
Your fingers are getting a little close to mine.
Okay.
Please.
Are you safe? That's all I'm asking.
Have a good shift, O'Connor.
Are you safe is what I'm asking. Just say yes or no.
Take care, O'Connor.
Thanks for your step back.
Have a good one, O'Connor.
Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for listening to my instructions. I appreciate it.
This was undoubtedly one of the worst police interactions ever caught on camera. The auditor eventually stepped back, but returned the next day to file a formal complaint against the officers involved. As of now, there have been no updates regarding the outcome of the complaint. Now, while this was painful to watch, these next cops had no clue that they were being recorded while they did the unthinkable.
Jared, we're about to play a game of manhunt. I'm going to give you a 20-minute head start, and if I see you again, you're going to jail.
In August of 2024, a resident started to record when police officers detained a homeless man outside of the apartment building and then started to question him. The cops had their body cams off and were about to do something bizarre.
Even the guys in the crew started coming. I won't lose.
Yeah, well, Gary, I might be taking you to jail right now. That's what I hear. Here, give me one of the reasons why I should take you to jail. And you know who I'm going to see tomorrow? I don't care. Hold on. How old are you? You don't care about tomorrow? You don't care about it. Don't play your kids. Don't play the kids part. You don't. Because you'd much rather shoot up in a fucking alleyway than be a fucking parents. No, I wouldn't. No, you're not. Yes, I am.
Garrett, I'm not gonna lie to you. You know how many times a day we hear that shit? You won't see me again. Oh, Garrett, I swear to God.
Garrett, I guarantee you, I'll bet $100 on my paycheck. I'm gonna see you tomorrow.
You see me in the morning.
Pick up that needle cap. I'm gonna see you tomorrow.
After 3 o'clock tomorrow.
See? 3 o'clock.
I gotta get my bags to my brother's house.
The officers were dealing with the guy quite casually, and it was clear that they knew him pretty well.
What's the address of Cedar? It's 289 across the street.
Yeah. Why are you talking to me? Oh,
put it in the trash.
Yeah, so someone else can get jacked while you're discussing the shit.
It's not mine. I swear to God that one was not mine.
Here, you'll be pretty careful. Dude, I can't let your kids eat homework right now. I'm not shooting up in a fucking dumpster.
I gotta get that.
You love your kids, you wouldn't be away right now.
Garrett, Manchester 80. I know.
You're not doing well yet. So you should never come back.
I'm not.
You should go back to Rochester.
I'm going to.
Good. Don't come back.
You're gonna get Laconian, promise.
Instead of arresting him or issuing a ticket, the officers decided to play a little game, one that will leave you absolutely stunned.
Listen, I won't take you to jail if you can find me the DFS. Right there.
Oh, Garrett, your foot,
left foot,
your foot.
Right there. Nope, Corman called the line. Fire!
Oh, there we go. Shoelace Express. Down here.
If I see you again tonight, you're being arrested. So you better hide somewhere.
Honestly,
that's not hiding. But Jared, we're about to play a game of manhunt. I'm going to give you a 20-minute head start, and if I see you again, you're going to jail.
1 Mississippi.
2. We won't look.
Away from you. 2 Mississippi.
We're not going to look. 4. Start counting. 5 Mississippi.
Oh!
6.
Mississippi. 2 Mississippi.
It was surely bizarre to see the officers treat the law as a joke and play this game with this poor man. Everything was going fine with them until one of them realized that they were being recorded.
Say right here, not here we come. Right here, not here we come. Just think about this for a second. Imagine. Is that believable? It's unbelievable.
Dude, well, he's like squatting in the alley. We're like,
dude, no, we drive by and he goes like this. He goes. Imagine. Take shit outside of your window every day. Imagine. Hey, folks. That'd be unbelievable. Sorry, someone was trying to poop on the side of your building.
It happens.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get it to stop.
The counting was a little weird.
We were giving him a head start before we finally arrest them.
Yeah, but making it a game was kind of weird.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
The officers realized they had messed up and quickly retreated. That video went viral, and the police chief became involved, launching an internal investigation. As a result, all 3 officers were suspended for a few days. Well, now that brings us to the end of this video. Today we saw cases where corrupt cops were caught breaking the law completely unaware that they were being recorded. These officers hate being held accountable and struggle to follow the law that they enforce on others. Thankfully, they were exposed by the good people who stood up for their rights. Now, if you agree with me, please support us by liking this video. Also, if you enjoyed this video, watch the moments where these tyrant cops brutally assaulted these innocent people.
Okay, stop moving.